So I'm at Pineapple House, and it's funny because I just got a letter, and I'm going to read it to you. Dear resident, congratulations. The property at the address has been chosen by the City of Fort Lauderdale Community Appearance Board as a winner of the monthly WOW Award per enclosed letter. Apparently, the Appearance Board gave me an award for the appearance. Now, what I can guarantee I don't have an award for by the Appearance Board is the pool that's been taking, we're at about a week away from a year of being complete. You can't win them all, guys. You can't win them all. But I will take this award and frame it and showcase that to my Airbnb guests that eventually will be staying here at Pineapple House. Unfortunately for you guys, I don't have any homes right now that are vacant, which is great for me because they're all occupied, making money with somewhat happy guests. Somewhat happy because an AC went out, a few other items just needed to be repaired. While the guests are okay with everything and they're happy and they're saying, you know, that's totally fine, that we'll have a repair person come in, I'm not happy because I have to make sure that I get good reviews. And when you have anything happen at your home or, you know, condo, whatever it is that you're Airbnb-ing, it's so important to make sure the guests are happy. Today we're going to really focus on reviews. We're going to kind of drive around. I have to run a few errands, all guest related, and we're off. Something that a lot of people don't think about is, you know, everyone wants to have the fully licensed, ready to go Airbnb that has tons of reviews, 5-star reviews. But what they don't realize is that you can buy that. You can buy completely turnkey, ready to go. But once you own it, the work has just begun because you have to make sure that you maintain and live up to those expectations of those past reviews. So maybe you don't want to pay the property manager 20-30%. Maybe you want to save a buck here or there, but saving money in those ways, it's only going to bite you in the butt in the future because the reason why it has all those reviews and all that positivity behind it is because of the hospitality and the way that it was run and managed. So what does a good review sound like? Well, I'll read them. Francie, January 2019. Samantha was a great host, always quick to respond. It was such a neat place, very quiet, close to everything, super clean. We would definitely come back and stay. Louise, January 2019. If I'm ever in Fort Lauderdale again, I will be staying at Samantha's house again! Exclamation point. It's a great spot, super clean, plenty of towels, well appointed and great location. Samantha is also super responsive! All caps. This place is awesome. Thanks, Louise. What about some bad reviews, you ask? Well, Mary Ellen last December wasn't too happy about a few things, and here's her review. Our host Samantha was extremely good about addressing the few minor issues we had very quickly. As we know, addressing the problems quickly can help solve any bad review. Unfortunately, Mary Ellen says, we also experienced some cool weather while we were there, so the pool was too cold to swim in and there was no pool heater. You can't win them all, people, but I will say that Mary Ellen at least finished her review with, we loved our stay and highly recommend staying at Conch House where Samantha treats you like family. That's what you want, people. Problem solved, get that 5-star review, be a super host, and make that money. So unless you're gonna do this yourself and you're gonna cater to those guests and you're gonna report to them and you're gonna make sure that they're happy and that they are writing those 5-star reviews, you better make sure that you add that into your spreadsheet, that you're going to pay a nice chunk, a nice percentage, or maybe you'll figure out a flat fee to pay a property manager. But you do need to have someone overseeing each and every property. You could have 2 exact same properties, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath with a pool. One gets more money than the other, and the reason is because of those reviews. You definitely have to place a huge amount of emphasis on the reviews because if one has 3 stars and one has 5 stars, I mean, think about when you're in a hotel or looking for a hotel. You're gonna look for something that has better reviews, people that are responsive to you, the hospitality, all of that. So right now we're heading to the supermarket actually, so I can get a few little goodies. By goodies, I mean wine, and try to wine and dine my guests, because even though they said that they were okay with, you know, leaving the house for a short period of time while the AC gets fixed, I can't count that they're not going to mention that in my reviews. So yes, I try to butter up my guests just a little bit, but you know, a little kind of nice deed can go a super long way. And I just never want to have like a negative ding. Is that a thing? A negative ding? I don't know. Clearly I can't speak. No, I just never want to have anyone say anything negative. It's the worst thing, especially when you're working your ass off and you're trying to make everyone happy, and then someone says, well, it was great, but you know, the pool wasn't perfect, the AC broke. And even though, you know, look, when you own a property, that's what just comes with it. I mean, things can go at any time and you can't predict when something's not going to work. But instead of focusing on making sure everything is always perfect and having a panic attack when something happens, make sure you've got good people on call that can fix all of these items, because how quickly you respond to something is what people will remember. Let's do a little.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks, you too.
Thanks.
So wine is picked up and we're gonna head over to the guests and surprise them with a nice little bottle. Hopefully that'll make up for the few hours that they couldn't be at the house while the repairman was there. I've always learned, oh, I'm going in the wrong way. And we're back. Reviews are always important to me, and it's not just in Airbnbs, but I've grown my entire business. I've been in real estate for 10 years, and I've grown my entire business off of reviews and referrals and people just talking about, you know, yeah, I want to work with Sam DiBianchi because I know what she can do, and I have that reputation, and that's all been built from reviews and me following up with people, me talking to people, me making sure I have those 5 shiny stars. And I really have learned the importance of that, and that's why I incorporate it into my Airbnbs. Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, and you?
So I have a bottle of wine. I'm so sorry about not having AC for a little bit.
Okay.
I just want to make sure you're happy. Everything else is good at the house.
Yeah, everything's good.
Good, because reviews are important.
What's with the camera?
Oh, I have a vlog. It's actually on my YouTube. So I showcase all of my Airbnbs and kind of what I do, and I try to teach people about them. So are you okay to be on?
Not really.
No?
No.
Oh. I will say some guests, they'll just leave bad reviews to leave bad reviews. And sometimes there's nothing you can do to make somebody happy. And you have to kind of have thick skin in this business. Some people just, you know, they just can never be satisfied. And that's okay. So when they do write that bad review, it's important to always respectfully and politely just respond to things. Don't just let it out there and accept it and say, you know, they were an asshole. They're not an asshole. They have a right to their opinion and their voice and whatever they want to post. But it's so important to follow up with it and say, yes, this did happen, or no, this didn't happen, or this is why it happened. In business and in life and in Airbnb life, it's always difficult to get that initial step, to get that first review. I mean, you can have an awesome property, like my first Airbnb ever, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna make all this money and it's gonna be great. But how are you going to get that first person in there when there's nobody reviewing? And people will message me and say, hey, so can you tell me more about your home? I notice I'll be the first person there. To just ask people, you know, I'll check someone out, and once you know that the house or whatever property it is all good to go, message the guests and say, thanks so much for staying. I hope you're having a safe travel back. I'll be leaving you a 5-star review, and I would appreciate if you can do the same. Even if, and you don't have to get obsessed with, well, I don't have 50 reviews, I only have 5. 5 is a lot more than 0. And as long as there's solid reviews, that can go a long way, and you'll be just as even with the one that has 50 reviews, because you can tell when your property is new. vacation rental business is a people-based business. So if you don't like people, this isn't the business for you. If there's one thing you can take from this episode, it would be that. Other than the reviews and everything else that I've talked about. But take that one. Sometimes I drive around and I think, when I have you money, this is what I would like. Look at this. Look at what we're arriving to. Whenever someone questions Fort Lauderdale, this is where I show them and I say, oh, you don't like Fort Lauderdale? Because, I mean, look at this. You've got rivers, you've got the Intracoastal, you have the beach. I mean, there's so much going on here. It's crazy. And you wonder why this is a booming city with Airbnbs left and right making megabucks. And speaking of Fort Lauderdale, I think I'm actually going to wrap up this episode by just gathering my thoughts and enjoying all